Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Angry and Ornery Show. This is episode 15. Kind of hard to believe that we made it this far. If anybody's keeping tabs, it was brought to my attention that maybe I should explain the episodic logistics here. We're going on a 24-episode season because we tape twice a month. So when we reach 24, we'll call that season 1, if we make it that far. It all depends on my co-host Lionheart here, who will be stumbling out now, and how drunk he is. Oh, Lionheart.
I am not.
Can you function?
I can function just fine.
Good.
I can walk through tables.
Well, that's the magic of Second Life.
Yes. Ooh, magic. How are you?
I'm good, and I do have to say that we are recording this in Second Life on the sim of Staccato in the small town of Beguile. So if you would like to get on Second Life, or perhaps you already are on Second Life, I am me, Zoltan Mint. I am standing for instant message, not that I am me. Anyways, and I will get you here to the studio, and you can enjoy a live recording. And we listen to the audience, so if you type things in local chat, please don't turn your voice on. But if you type things in local chat, we will appreciate that and answer any questions that you might have.
I can't read.
Right, well, I'll read them for you.
Thank you.
Also, this is going out on Livestream, livestream.com, if you want to see it every other Wednesday at 10 o'clock. Ooh, that's Eastern Time. It would be, 5 o'clock, or what is it, 7 o'clock, Second Life time. I'm always confused about that. And finally, this will be edited and put on YouTube in a couple of days after this taping. So catch us on the Angry and Ornery channel. Please join our channel, and that you will be heavenly rewarded. That means we won't give you crap, but maybe your good karma will do something nice for you. How are you, Lionheart?
I'm
Nobody cares.
Fine.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Have a seat. No, I care. You're ducky, huh? How's the weather out there in the desert that you are determined to keep living in?
It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
You literally live in a desert. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, that's why it's called the desert, you idiot. You don't have to keep on reminding me that I literally live in a desert. I know.
Well, you know why? Deserts are devoid of water and other, life-giving things.
Okay. See, geography lesson really quick. If you knew where I was at, I'm close to Vegas, so I have Lake Mead right down the road. That's the infamous lake where Pamela Anderson filmed her honeymoon video.
Right.
That's right down the way. Plus, so is the Colorado River. So I actually have water around me in the desert.
Okay. Well, have fun with that. How was those mountain fires that surrounded your home last year?
Those are fine. How are the floods, the rain, and tornadoes in where you're at?
Well, we're kind of getting out of tornado season, but I will tell you, even though it's what of October? It's the 8th of October tonight. A couple nights ago, well, actually last weekend, there was snow spotted in Ohio.
What's that?
So there you go. Anyways, let's talk about pop culture, TV, movies, and anything else we can find, and give these people something interesting to chat about, shall we?
We shall.
All right. Well, I think I'll start, if you don't mind.
Oh, please, go ahead. Age before beauty.
Right. Thin before fat. I think that the show, well, I just watched the Sons of Anarchy recent show, and I've been watching it ever since for day one. And I know I've talked about Sons of Anarchy a bit in the past, but I just wanted to point out a few things about the current season, which also happens to be the last season. Sutter is a madman. I've said that a couple of times. I'm not sure if he's a great writer or if he's just really crazy. But anyways, here's the thing. The first few shows of this last season have been what I call predictable and maybe even slightly boring. And I know there's some Sons of Anarchy fans out in the audience here in Second Life, but keep your cool and hear me out. I think you can play this terrific drinking game with Sons of Anarchy, and that is watch it with a bunch of people and everybody do a shot when somebody in the show says, we need to talk. Because I swear to you that they say that about every 4 to 5 minutes. We need to talk. I need to talk to you. Let's talk. And then they go off somewhere and they talk. So there's an example of repetitiveness. Another example is the montage of they'll do some type of cover song. A modern new band will do a cover song of some old like 60s, 70s, or 80s song, and it's a montage underneath it, and it usually involves peaceful things going on while abhorrent violence is also going on. They've done that every episode, including the most recent one. And then there's the senseless violence. Now, I know it's a show about bikers, and I know there's a biker war going on, and there's going to be violence. They deal with guns and drugs and prostitutions. And the problem is now it's just gratuitous violence. Examples include, anybody that watched the most recent episode knows that there was an Asian fellow who was wrongly killed in a hotel room. No need for that at all. Absolutely no need for that. Just to establish that a character is batshit crazy, we knew that already, okay? There was no need to slaughter an entire group of drug dealers out in the woods on like episode 2 or 3. There was no reason to slaughter a group full of prostitutes, or escorts as they call themselves in the show. It's wholesale slaughter now, and I counted statistically roughly every 10 minutes, anywhere between 8 and 10 minutes, somebody's now dying in the show. So, you can argue, Miss Moonwing, but I would need to know what you're arguing against and the reasons for that. I know Hamlet, and I know it's based on... No, I should say that Miss Moonwing is in the audience, and she's talking in local, and she's saying that, she's arguing that, well, this is Hamlet. Well, I know it's loosely based on Hamlet, but even Hamlet didn't have this kind of wholesale slaughter or repetitiveness that this show is doing. Now, having said that, I just want to point out one thing, Miss Moonwing, and the rest of you crazy Sons of Anarchy fans. This past episode, this last episode that just aired, they sort of got my interest back because they did something smart. Sutter wrote a dichotomy into the plot line that is now interesting. And it involves the Spanish fellow, whose name I forget, who's in love with Gemma. What's his name? Nero, right. It involves Nero having to pick between the club or the Asian club, which they're at war with right now. And that on the surface doesn't seem that interesting, but there's so much confusion and plot twists involved in his decision right now that it is incredibly intriguing to me. One of the most intriguing elements, I think, of the show thus far, because if you watch the show, you know that the Chinese and the SOA are at war with each other wrongly because of lies. There's lies that have causing this war. And the responsible person for these lies, who I'm not going to reveal because the show's still fresh, so there won't be any spoilers here, but that person is still lying and knows the war's going on, and she's just letting it happen. Oops, I said she. It's a girl now. But anyways, the point is, this woman is like the angel of death. She has been responsible for all the deaths, almost all the deaths in the show for like the past 7 seasons. So that has now become interesting to me. And at the very end, there may be somebody very, very popular killing somebody very, very popular. They left a cliffhanger. So that was kind of cool, too. But I don't think it's going to happen. But anyways, the thing is, the show may be redeeming itself. Now, I've talked to a few people, fandoms and so forth, and I said, they told me that Sutter admitted that the beginning is going to be slow because they wanted to build all this material up, and then they're going to unleash holy hell. Well, I think this past episode, again on October 8th, or 7th actually, that started to release all the holy hell. And if that's the case, then the show is going to end with a huge big bang, and I won't be disappointed. But if it dribbles out, like a lot of shows have done in the past, aka Lost and a few other shows, I'm going to be sorely, sorely disappointed, because this could go down as one of the best violent shows on TV ever made. And I just hope they don't screw it up. There's my take on the current state of affairs with Sons of Anarchy. Your turn.
I'm sorry, are you done there?
You don't watch the show, so you can't argue with me.
Show. I can't argue with you. Besides, I'm having a battle of wits with an unarmed man. So, keeping things new, fresh, and happy here.
Was that supposed to be funny?
I'm always funny.
You know I lost my arm in a horrible mowing accident, you asshole.
I know you did, because I was the one.
So you're that cruel to make fun of my one-armedness.
Yes. You're the one that Gerard and the fugitive have been looking for all this time. Wow,
all right. By the way, audience members, I have all my limbs, and I apologize for any quadriplegic or whatever that may be thinking that we're making light of them. We're not. Go ahead, okay. Lionheart. Oh wait, Lionheart, your time's up.
I'm gonna stab you. Anyways,
joking.
About a year ago, I went into my local comic book shop, and I'm OCD when it comes to comics. You really have to kind of... Yeah, well, I'm a nerd, and I wave that flag proudly. So, last year, DC did all their relaunch of what's called the New 52s. They rebooted most of their comics. They also put new comics out. In one of those new series, they put out what's called Batman 66. As in the year 1966.
I heard about this.
The reason why it's called 66 is it is technically a continuation of the old Adam West, Burt Ward, Batman television series. Basically in comic book form now. And each issue is a full episode, so you don't have to worry about it being stretched out over 4 or 5. And you know what? I stocked up for a year's worth, finally read them all at once, and they're doing really good work.
So this has been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been out for a little while now. They're only on issue 14 right now. So, But the nice part is anybody can jump in, because like I said, you don't need to read the previous issues to know what's going on, because each issue is basically a one-shot. It was revamped by Jeff Parker and Jonathan Chase for our new era, and you know what? They're doing a good job.
Is it campy?
Yes, and I'm showing my age by doing this. I used to watch the original series. They got the likenesses and the rights to almost all the characters. So, Adam West will do anything.
Right. He's a whore.
Right, but the harder thing is the Joker does look like Cesar Romero. The Riddler does look like Frank Gershwin. The only one that does not look right is, of course, later on, Vincent Price was in the series, and he played Egghead. The Egghead character they could not get the rights to, because that's actually going on in another comic book series right now. Not owned by DC, but the likeness of the character is. So they kind of changed him up a little bit, but it's kind of cool and it's campy to see Julie Newmar again, and, they're keeping the corny jokes, and it's really cool. And then what really blew my mind is they did a 6-issue crossover, and Kevin Smith came on board, and they just completed Batman 66 meets the Green Hornet. We're not talking the comic book Green Hornet, we're talking the original 1966 television series again with Bruce Lee. They just did a big 6-issue arc with them, and you know what? The illustrations are cool, the wording is great, the script rating's great on them. These are like mini movies, and I urge anybody to go out and pick these up. They're really good reads.
I think a Green Hornet only worked because of Bruce Lee, by the way.
Right, and it did. And, they brought it very nice into this series. They crossed over with Dynamite Comics, and like I said, Kevin Smith, who's been writing the Green Hornet now for the past couple of years. So it really works. I say if you're out one day and you're looking around, it's only $3.99 a comic book. That's not expensive.
Are they considered graphic novels, or are they individual comic books?
They're just individual comic books. Each one's, the standard length of, whatever it is, 60 pages or so. So they're not huge. They're not graphic novel size, but they're really enjoyable, and the color's great, graphics are great. I mean, it's kind of nice to go back through and see, King Tut and some of the villains that they
Right.
created for the series back again. So
Let me
if you're a fan,
dovetail this into another subject, and I know you and I talked that we weren't going to bring up Gotham again because we talked about it kind of extensively
correct.
last week. But I have a question for you. You know that Jada Pinkett is on the show, right?
Is Fish Moxie? Yeah.
Right. First of all, is that character a character from the Batman genre,
Yes.
or
It's
was it
one of
made
the
up for that show?
No, it's a character from the Pantheon. It was not as a prominent character as they're doing it in the show.
Okay.
It was kind of more background.
My question is this: is it just me, or is she purposely or maybe accidentally imitating
Catwoman?
the original Catwoman from the Batman TV series? What's her
Yeah.
name? The singer. She sings.
Are you talking Eartha Kitt?
Eartha Kitt. Is she
Yeah.
not channeling Eartha Kitt?
You know what? And I'm glad you said that. Yeah, I think she is almost doing an Eartha Kitt with it.
So you haven't heard if she's doing this on purpose, or maybe this is just an accident?
I think this is just on accident because of her look and just the way the character is. I think it is by accident.
Well,
So,
I tell you, she sounds like it. I'm waiting for her to go perfect. I mean,
yeah.
she even kind of looks like her. And
Well-
and I'm not a big Jada fan. And there's some Olivia says she loves her too, and Will Smith and all, her husband. But I think she does overact. I think she's kind of hurting the show. Every time she's on the screen, I'm not interested. I'd much rather them spend time on the villains. Like I said last week, or last time we filmed this, that the villains are what makes Gotham a good show. But that's just my opinion.
Right.
All right, well, I just wanted to point that out to see if you noticed that too.
Yes, I have. So.
I loved Eartha Kitt, by the way, Queen. I thought she was the best Catwoman of all the not the sexiest one. That one was Julie Newmar, right?
Julie Newmar.
Yeah, she was hot. I had a crush on her when I was 8 years old.
Yeah, Eartha Kitt had that. I don't know that like.
Sass.
It was just her voice. It was her voice and that sass. She had that great voice.
Yeah,
But-
she definitely was sassy. But
Anyways,
All right.
definitely go out and pick up these books. So.
yeah,
to you, sir.
definitely. Right. What was my next subject?
I don't know. Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Yeah,
maybe?
Was it Walking Dead?
You-
How could we not talk about Walking Dead? We are on the virtual eve of Walking Dead debuting their 5th season, correct?
Yes, 5th season.
I watch so many shows, I'm kind of losing track of all the seasons they're in. But anyways, this Sunday, which would be
Sunday.
October 12th, it's debuting, and they're expecting record viewership on that night. They think there will be more viewers on that night than any previous Walking Dead episode, and, are you ready for this, any cable show. Because they just did the ratings on season 4, and it was the highest rated cable TV show in the history of cable television. Not network TV, of course, because that's going to be beat by many shows at this point, but there's more people that have network TV than they do cable, even to this day. Present company not excluded, as it turns out. Anyways, so Walking Dead just announced, even before their first season... their first episode begins on their current new season, that they were picked up for a 6th season. That's ballsy at this point, because generally they don't announce that until halfway through or even near the end of any season, that there will be a 6th season. They're already writing it. They're already doing post-production on it, which leads us to believe that there will be 7 seasons total, because that's what they agreed on. At least that's what the producers said on Talking Dead, the show that talks about Walking Dead, which also is a good show. Anyways, if you like Chris Hardwick, he's the host of it, and I think he's pretty funny. So if you're a Walking Dead fan, get ready. It's going to be a very, very exciting season. According to the Midsummer special that they talked about, the upcoming production of Walking Dead, this is a train ride that doesn't stop. It doesn't build up slowly. It doesn't, give you information or introduce new characters or give you time to get to know anybody. It just explodes on the screen and continues. Every single scene, every single episode apparently is just violence, running, shooting, chasing, that kind of stuff. So, because remember, if you watch the cliffhanger, we find our intrepid crew trapped in a train that no doubt was going to turn them into hamburger meat for the humans that have formed, what's the station? Terminus, right? Is that Terminus? That doesn't sound right. Terminus, yeah. I just got that, by the way. I mean, I understand why it was... Well, the word terminus, it occurred to me that not only is it the end of the train lines, as in terminal, and it's been there in Atlanta forever, but terminus, as in, is it the end of the road for everybody that goes there? Did you ever pull that together?
Yeah, I think most of the world did.
Oh, shut up.
A year ago.
I'm joking, you idiot. So we have scenes that have shown the group obviously getting out of their predicament. I mean, that's kind of a spoiler. And all right, guys, everyone in the audience, relax. I was joking, okay? Terminus, it can't get any more obvious. I'm getting harassed now.
I know you are. Sorry.
Anyways,
I actually feel sad for you for once.
Dude, it was a joke. Come on.
You're gonna get shot tonight.
I guess all that college education really paid off, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is kind of a spoiler thing, so you may not enjoy this, but I got to tell you, it's been on the internet, it's been on the TV, on AMC itself, have shown they get away. You can see that all the characters get away in some manner. Now, do they wholesale slaughter everybody at Terminus? Unknown. How they get out? Unknown. But at least Rick and a few others are out in the world doing other things. So, so that's what we got to look forward to. I would like to see, in this particular season, the group stay together. Because I really did not like them all separated. Now, selfishly, I guess I didn't like that because there was too much to remember and think about. And I run games, like role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games for people. Most of you know that anyways, no surprise. And I always encourage my players to stay together, too. I don't like what happens when they get separated. People sit around and do nothing. Well, and they die. So, plus it's the whole group mentality. When they're all together, there's more dynamics, and they play together either well or wrongly, and I like that more than just having one or two people. And last season they split it up. People, you had to go like, what was it, 3-4 weeks before you saw Rick? So I didn't care for that too much, but I hope they all stay together, or at least a good group of them stay together. Now, I know most will die, because that's what the writers do on Walking Dead. And who I predict dying, hard to say. Do you have any speculations, Lionheart?
Yeah, but I don't want to say it. I really don't. I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to make a lot.
It's easier to say who I think won't die. And Queen, I think you'll be happy to know that Daryl won't die. He is a franchise to himself, so I don't think Daryl's going. If they kill Daryl, it'll be one of the gutsiest moves any TV writer ever made.
There's one character that it does not show in any of the scenes. So
who? Say it. That's all right.
Our little Asian friend. He's not in any of the scenes.
I have my doubts that he's going to make it.
Yeah, because they did just kill him recently.
Glenn.
In the comic book. Yeah. They did just kill Glenn recently in the comic books. And granted, the comic books have nothing to do with what's going on in the show.
For the most part.
Said that. But Glenn is shown for 1 second in the trailers, and he's on his knees with a ball bat on his shoulder. Like somebody's about to beat him to death.
Right. Right. And I don't think they're going to kill Michonne. I think Michonne has a huge fan following also. Yeah. And they won't kill... I don't think they'll kill Rick or his son, Carl, because Carl, in the comic books, Carl ends up being the leader.
Maybe
So
maybe they'll kill the baby because in the comic book series, the baby died right away.
that's true. That's true. But the
So,
baby is the only element of hope that this whole group has. It
no,
seems like
wouldn't
they've.
that be? Oh, that'd be great if they came out of Terminus and they were sitting there eating some baby back ribs. That would be awesome.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So the last thing I want to say about Walking Dead is that they did announce a spin-off, and I mentioned this last time I think we recorded, but keep in mind that the spin-off from Walking Dead will not contain any characters that you know here. This is going to be the rest of the world, like in Europe, Canada, Mexico, and that kind of thing. And there's going to be shorts. I believe it's like a short story type of deal all over the world where you can see the zombie infestation in different cultures, and so.
Aren't they already zombies in Canada? Because they don't contribute much except for maple syrup.
Oh man! And you say the fans are going to turn against me, dude? Like half this audience is Canadian.
One.
Oh yeah. By the way, Canadians, happy Thanksgiving. I still think it's weird that you have Thanksgiving before Halloween, but oh well. What can we do with our little brothers?
Yeah.
All right, so that's my Walking Dead thing. Go ahead.
So I got out in the real world and went to a movie theater recently.
Oh.
They actually let me
You weren't
in.
arrested?
No, they let me in.
You didn't wear the naked with the trench coat and all that?
Nope. So I needed some fun, and I went and saw the new Liam Neeson movie, A Walk Among the Tombstones.
Oh.
I'm an intelligent person when it comes to movies, and I was able to find something out very quick as we were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Walk Among the Tombstones is technically a sequel.
Oh?
Do you remember the old Jeff Bridges movie, 8 Million Ways to Die?
Sure.
Same character. It's a continuation line of his story.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't catch it until I was watching it, and I caught the names. And then, of course, when I came home, I looked it up. I'm like, oh, son of a gun, I was right. But
so
good film.
Good act. I mean, did the same actors come along, or?
No. It's Liam Neeson now playing the role instead of Jeff Bridges, and
But I mean, Bridges wasn't in it at all.
No.
Okay.
No, it's Neeson. But watching it, yeah, it's a carbon copy of the Taken films. He's out to get some bad people who are doing bad things, but I've realized something. Liam Neeson is this generation's Clint Eastwood.
I like Liam Neeson, and I always have liked him, and I thought he completely astounded me in Schindler's List. And then everything he's done since, I thought he's a good actor. But you're right, he kind of sounds like him. He always plays these tough guy roles, and he'll probably direct soon.
Yeah, I mean, he's very diverse. He goes from these acting roles of the typical hard ass from Taken and Tombstones, where it's almost a carbon copy character, but then he turns around and does things. A Million Ways to Die in the West, the Seth MacFarlane film where it's a comedy, but he's playing a bad guy outlaw, but it's still funny. And, you kind of look at him and you look at his body of work, he is starting to become the new Eastwood of this era. And
right.
He's, you enjoy watching a film he's in just because of him.
Is that your thought, or did you get that from somewhere else?
No, that is my thought.
You have original thoughts?
I have original thoughts.
Oh, you better stop that. You're going to hurt yourself.
Well, the doctors give me the medicine to stop it, but I just have to listen to it.
No, that's a good point. I would totally agree that Liam Neeson is the new Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. But, no, Tombstone's good film. He's out getting some very, very bad people who like to do some very sick things, and you got some action, you've got some drama, and of course he does his typical, gets on the phone with one of them and tells them that he's basically going to come and kill them if they do bad things, just like he does in everything else. But it's good.
It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. We need to get out of here. Every movie he says that.
Yeah, you don't know who I am, but I have a certain set of traits, and I can do this, and
right.
Yeah,
but that's okay because he does it well. I mean, I have respect for him. He came on the Tonight Show a couple times already, and he's a charming fellow. I mean, he's certainly
he's
intelligent and very, very humble. And I liked him. Star Wars, not so sure.
We don't.
But he was probably one of the better actors in Star Wars. So
yeah, But the funny part is that before the movie started, one of the previews was Taken Part 3.
Oh yeah.
They've made a third one, and I'm like,
Haven't they ran out of people to take? In this movie, they take him.
You know what? Yeah, that's actually what it is. They're doing the they're doing the fugitive storyline where they have framed him for murder, and they introduce Forrest Whitaker into the film, and he's he's playing a Gerard character from The Fugitive, and he's doing the whole trying to track Neeson down. And, of course, Neeson's doing the whole I'm innocent, you framed me type thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But we'll see what happens.
Well, not a lot of new thoughts there in Hollywood, is there?
No, they're running
Speaking of not new thoughts, I guess you went and saw another movie that I would like to hear your opinion about.
Yeah, so I saw Sin City: A Dame to Kill For. And
we got about 5 minutes, by the way.
I'd like to kill the ticket box and get my money back.
So why would you hate? It certainly was hyped up enough. I mean, it's a Sin City franchise. People have been waiting, 6, 7, 8 years, whatever?
Almost 10. And it was flat. You know, the storylines, the backstory line with the Dwight character, which was played by, I'm blanking on his name right now. He was the one who ended up with the prostitutes in Old Town.
DeToro?
No, not DeToro died, but
well, so what? This movie has a lot of dead people in it.
Well, right, but, you know, it doesn't fit well with the other film, and I understand that the storylines are out of order, that, you know, Marv is dead here, but he's alive here.
Right.
It didn't fit this time because they were doing stuff that was way after the events of the first film of where Marv should have been dead, and Marv was back, which is the Mickey Rourke character.
Right.
The only saving grace of this film is, if you take a young boy to see it, when he leaves, he will become a man due to Jessica Alba's last dance sequence.
Oh, God bless Jessica Alba.
Oh, my good grief. There was a 16-year-old boy sitting 4 rows ahead of me, and you can actually hear the chest hairs popping out of his chest as he became a man from watching the scene. But no, it was flat. You know, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was not that great. Powers Booth was icky.
See, I like I can never say his name. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think, is a good actor.
Yeah, no, so do I. It wasn't a great role, and Christopher Lloyd shows up for a little bit. And
how did you think Jessica Alba performed? Other than the dance, I mean, did she act well? Because I heard the movie centers around her.
Right, and it's basically her character's descent into basically madness, where the whole revenge of Hartigan, the Bruce Willis character, killing himself at the end of the first one.
Now, she doesn't get completely naked, right?
No.
No, because she said she'd never get naked.
Right, but you don't, that scene, you don't, Yeah, that's wow.
All right, settle down there, big boy.
It's pretty, but no, I don't know. It was
so on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best.
4.
What do you give it? Really? 4. So it's higher than I thought you would.
Well, yeah.
Did you like the original?
I love the original. It's a great film.
Yeah, I did too. The stylization of it, I didn't care for. The plot, I thought the plot was kind of silly, but the stylization, it's beautiful. I mean, no movie was ever made like that, nor will ever be made like it again.
Well, you know what? That's the other thing is the first movie was all done in green screen, and it's all very stunningly beautiful. It looks like a comic book brought to life.
It certainly is. I think it's the closest movie that brought a comic book to life.
With this film, when I was watching it, I felt like I was watching one of those cheesy spider films that's on the Sci-Fi Network.
It's in 3D, right?
No, it wasn't in 3D.
Oh, I thought it was offered in 3D.
No, I didn't see it in 3D, but it was very kind of cheesy in the background. It looked like, it looked cheap. So, yeah. I don't know.
All right.
That's my take. So.
Well, you know what? I didn't see it at the theater. I'm hoping it comes on DVD in the next month or two, because I will, watch it on DVD for sure. But you recommend a Liam Neeson movie over it?
Walk Among the Tombstones over it, definitely. I give that film like an 8. It's a good flick.
Wow. On a scale of 1 to 5?
Oh, 1 to 1 to 10 I was giving an 8. And 1 to 5 I'd give it a 5. Yeah.
We'll see if we use the 1 to 5 method, then that equates to A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, and F. A, B,
You had to
C,
use your
D,
fingers for
and
that,
F.
didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Because I'm skipping a letter there. You know, E.
Yeah, no. Tombstone's
All
A,
right.
so definitely go.
So overall, watch Sons of Anarchy. It's redeeming itself. It's getting better. Make sure you don't miss Walking Dead, because at this point, it's TV history. It's no longer just a good show that fans watch. It's TV history. And the two movies that Lionheart talked about, sounds like they're worth a look at. And that's our show for today, as we quickly run out of time. Unless you had anything else.
No, but I can't stand up. My legs are asleep.
Oh, interesting. Maybe I should have sawed them off. As in saw?
That's it coming up on its 10th anniversary.
I know. It's silly, isn't it? Anyways, thank you very much. Remember, this show every other Wednesday in Second Life. Come and see us live. Watch us on live stream, and look for the show edited on YouTube in a few days. Thank you very much for attending, everyone. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thank you for all the donations. You guys are great, too. We can't talk about Supernatural right now. We'll talk about Supernatural maybe the next show. But anyways, good night, everyone.
Good night.